Moses, yesterday the Lloydminster Bobcats announced their new captain. Today they made it official, though.
Yeah, no kidding. And good job for him, too. Lucky kid handing Lyndon Springer, the local boy, the jersey this morning. The defenseman dons the C for the upcoming season. Now Springer enters his third year with his hometown club, a dream come true for the 19-year-old.
Some guys dream of scoring the big goals and stuff. I always wanted to be captain, so I think that's an accomplishment to strive for. Yeah, it seems pretty surreal right now.
Springer says he learned how to become a leader from two former Bobcat captains, Casey Knight and Grant Baker, his biggest influences.
I've learned a lot from how to carry yourself as a captain in the rink and in the public. So yeah, I've had a pretty easy learning experience from those two.
The local product has shown that he can take the next step, which was the deciding factor for a coaching staff, wasting little time naming a captain.
He's respected by his peers that we don't want to wait until September to have the players getting together and you know, making their commitments and certainly striving forward coming into main camp, and Lyndon will be a big piece of that.
We both realize that there's some strides to take to be a better captain and further better this team, and I think too with the RBC coming up, it's going to be a big year for molding some young players for the next season, so I think that's something I hope to do.
To football now, the Lloydminster Vandals return to the gridiron after their bye week, a chance to refocus. Of course, the Vandals lost a heartbreaker to the Edmonton Stallions and now get set to host their home opener this Saturday.
The schedule maker wasn't kind to us this year. Had us on the road for the first month, but it was a good, you know, we did a lot of chemistry building. We got the guys all on the bus for a few road trips, and you know, we had a blast.
Nobody's given up on this team so far. I mean, still another half of the season, and in this league, anything's possible.
It's taken 5 weeks, but the Lloydminster Vandals finally make their home debut this weekend after an 0-3 start on the road. Not exactly the way the team envisioned, but despite the hard luck of late, the team is amped up for some home field advantage.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a lot of fans cheering for you, and you know, obviously Armstrong Field's our field, and we obviously play our best ball here, right? So it's going to help out tremendously.
You always want to play at home in front of your own fans, and you know, you got the crowds cheering for you instead of the other team, and it gets you a little more fired up.
The Vandals know they have some stiff competition ahead. The Central Alberta Buccaneers come to town with the best defense, and points haven't been easy to come by for the green and black. But Glenn Dembicki says the offense just needed some minor tweaking.
Moving the ball hasn't been the problem. It's been getting it in the end zone once we get into the red zone. So we've worked on some red zone stuff this past few weeks when we've had our bye week, and you know, we're hoping our run game might be a little bit improved.
Alleviating the pressure on Mike Vetter and providing a different threat. Enter Ashton Ewers.
The guys make it easy on you, know, they help you out, they tell you what you got to do, and the plays are pretty easy once they help you out, so it's easy to get the hang of, and I'm pretty much ready for game day Saturday.
You know, it's kind of tough on me carrying the load, but now having another running back, you know, he's more of a scat back, he goes outside a bit more as compared to me as a power back, so I mean, that just adds a whole different dimension to the offense right there, and we're all so glad to have him on the team for sure.
Kickoff for Saturday's game goes at 4 o'clock on Armstrong Field.
The Border City Blue Jays entered last night's NSRBL action just a half game behind their rivals, the Lloydminster Twins, for top spot in the standings. On paper, the Jays look to take top spot quite easily. After all, the Jays were hosting the last place Mervyn Flyers, so it should be an easy win, right? Well, not exactly. Top of the fourth, tied up at 1. The Clayton Normal pass ball cashes in another Flyers run, giving them the 2-1 edge. Now we'll move on to the top of the 5th. Jordan McNabb, he'll ground into the fielder's choice, scoring Garrett McNabb 3-1 Mervyn. Now John Conacher pitched a complete game for the Flyers, getting Scott Willis to swing and miss. The Jays do trim that lead to 1 in the 6th, but that's as close as they would get. Flyers pull out the huge 3-2 victory. Elsewhere, from the NSRBL last night, the Midwest Expos losing skid extends to 5 games after blowing a 2-0 lead. Then they blew a 4-2 lead in the bottom of the 7th to Macklin. 5-4 was the final in Unity. The Cardinals improved to 7-4 with an 11-1 win over Edam, and the Wilkie Brewers defeat the St. Walburg Reds by a score of 8-1. It's the event Chuck Wagon drivers have been waiting for. The 2014 GMC Rangeland Derby starts tonight in Calgary, and for the next 10 days, 36 drivers will go for Chuck Wagon glory. 10 drivers from the CPCA are down south for the big dance, including the man at the top of the driver standings, Shane Nolan. The Rapid View Saskatchewan product says getting the chance to hit the track in Calgary is the sole reason he races.
I wouldn't wagon race if I didn't have Calgary Stampede in the mix. There's no possible way, just the financial part of it and the workload. There's so much work involved in this to compete at a high level, and if you're not going to compete to go to Calgary, then I don't see the point of doing it.
The 42-year-old makes his first trip to the Rangeland Derby in 2003, or made his first trip in 2003. It's going to be his 12th straight appearance, and believes experience goes a long way.
That's very key. Calgary's a different kind of animal there, so you just got to be calm and focused, and experience helps with that a lot. I'm really looking forward to this year's Stampede.
Nolan will see some familiar faces on opening night. He's going off the 3-barrel in Heat 8 against his brother Vern and the 2 Labattines.